This is me. My objective is to write a long-form article drawing from peer-reviewed sources that explores the nature of creatively engaging on the internet and social media. What drives authorship, and what do we get out of authorship if everyone is an author? Now, the reason the previous picture is so grainy is that it was pulled from this search of myself on Google. In the image search of my name, I exist. In fact, I'm first, and I also appear two other times in the first two rows. This starts to get into the point of my writing. Engagement on social media is completely popularity driven. From the sponsored blog writer to the Facebook foodie with endless shares of fast motion recipes, our engagement is a hunt for the like at the end of the tunnel. So, we have questions. Now, one might not directly address these while scrolling through Twitter, but under the surface, each piece of digital authorship is a digital representation of the digital self that is different from the actual self. The casual glance to followers or reblogs or friends brings with it a knowledge of audience. When we share, we are watched. When we are watched, we are judged. To be acknowledged is to be validated. So, I argue that any piece of digital authorship is little more than a self-advertisement or brand fishing for some kind of validation. Some case in points are my own Bandcamp page, my own Providence Monthly article page, my own Medium page. These are all pages I watch to gauge my popularity on the internet. Over the course of a week, I will monitor the following Facebook post to compare popularity, engagement, and what I will call responsive authorship. That means your friends' responses to your work, their interaction with what you're saying and what you're doing. As part of my research, I aim to explore the nature of different varieties of post to gauge not only the kind and amount of interpersonal engagement that comes with it, with each respective post, but also the overall popularity of those posts. Social media, blogs, and other free and available media outlets have created a universal platform for all people who choose to engage online. Sharing recipes on a Facebook wall, writing a personal blog, recording videos or podcasts, or developing a form of activism, all are inevitably tied to a certain level of popularity or active seeking of popularity. Thus, I would like to focus on the three key areas of personal creativity in a friend's context: public personal creativity and activism, to examine how public viewing, critiquing, and collaboration have made virtually all forms of interaction on the media at some level an amplification of personal desires for popularity, acknowledgement, and relevance. I'll analyze conversations, posts, and even social movements in an attempt to understand a unified nature to why we post what we post. What are we looking for, and will it ever be realized? Case in point, one of these recipe blogs. If a person posts in the woods and no one likes it, does it make a noise? The idea of publishing without gatekeepers or airing thoughts publicly has reached a level of commonality in such a way that the absence of likes makes a post feel wrong or unacceptable by the community. If there is no feedback, the work is invalid. Creation put onto social media platforms is now measured in gravitational pull. How much weight does one work carry or one post carry? How many people are subscribing to that view? How can I make it weigh more? Who is in my orbit? Whose orbit am I in? In a sense, everything we create becomes an advertisement for ourselves, an advertisement for our beliefs, and it's either actively getting people to agree with us or share those beliefs, or we're mirroring the beliefs and sentiments that we'd like to see in ourselves online. Connection has been replaced by a kind of back and forth publication because everything aside from private messages or emails is understood to be viewed. This active public viewership of everything created, from the intentional to the mundane carries with it the weight of who is seeing this, what will they think? My essay will connect research of scholarly work to a more personal take on what content, created, remixed, or reshared, generates the most feedback. While I believe it does, and what psychological effects are produced by sharing and subscribing to different kinds of content publicly. Is the online self nothing more than a fashion statement, or is it something real? Some of these posts that you're seeing are all ones that I did in 1 hour span. There are a variety of posts that either are pushing forward political views or personal things, like these 2 articles that I'm sharing from this month's column. All of them have a different intent. All of them are still, though, seeking a base popularity. They're seeking a base amount of likes, a base amount of engagement and interaction. I'm doing this essay to dig deeper into the nature of social media and digital authorship. With so many free creative outlets and platforms for sharing, I believe people have an inflated stake in these platforms to contribute and actively monitor just how important their posts, in a broad sense, are. Notice here's a pet post and a meme, 2 very popular things to share, always big on likes. The opportunity here is to explore what does creatively engaging on the internet for any multitude of purposes bring to us intrinsically by broadcasting so much extrinsically. If people are moved to share for the sake of monitoring who is seeing or supporting or opposing what they do, what will the new nature of authorship be? What are the varying degrees of authorship from 1 like to millions of followers? Are we actively community building by sharing? What does the ability to show support or rallying around something really say?